Yo, before we get into the interview, man, I want to give a shout out to all my radio stations all across the country who have the Bootleg Kev Show as an official affiliate. Man, we're on the radio in about 100 cities nationwide every day. Want to give a shout out to Real 92.3 in LA. Shout out to the Beat in Miami. Shout out to Wild 94.1 in Tampa. Shout out to Hot 98.3 in Tucson. Power 98.3 in Phoenix. We 102.9 in Portland. We're all over the country. So you could tap in with that radio show. If you want to know if we're on in your city, just go to bootlegkev.com. The full list of cities is there. You might hear us. Let's get into the interview. Bootleg Kev Podcast, man. We got a special guest in here. A legend. 1/5.
1/5.
Of the legendary Bone Thugs and Harmony, Layzie Bone.
Yo. What it
What's
do,
up?
man?
What's up, Lay? How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm blessed by the best. You know what I'm saying?
You killed it at 11:11, my club in Scottsdale. You know, I saw it was crazy over there.
Man, we
Had Merkham's out there. It was a good time.
We went up, man. You know, I always have a good time with Merkham's. You know what I'm saying? That's my little bro right there.
Arizona is, it used to be at least, I know. But isn't it y'all's like biggest market?
I mean,
I feel like y'all used to come like twice a year and sell the celebrity theater out, like just no problem. Like
probably 3 times.
Dude,
a
they
year,
love y'all in Asia.
Arizona, Chicago, Texas, Dallas, Houston, man, boy, it's that international Bone Thug love, you know what I mean? But Arizona is right up there with the best of the best worldwide, you know what I mean?
Because, yo, look, the Mexicans love y'all, dog.
Hey, man.
Shout out to the Rasa loves them some Bone Thugs, bro. They'll die about some Bone Thugs, dog.
Hey, you know what? They've been riding for us, man, you know? It's black and brown love, you
For
know
sure.
what I'm saying? So it's Mexicans ride with us, man. And the whites, the blacks. It's
Everybody.
Like, we probably,
the natives. Shout out to the natives.
The natives, definitely. You know, we diversified, man. I don't know how we crossed over all them ethnicities, but at the same time, you know, it's good music, man.
Yo, what is it about right now that is, I mean, everything is kind of aligned for you guys to put new music out. You guys have been dropping singles. I know you guys have an album coming through Greenback Records.
Yes, sir.
Because it feels like it's been so hard to get everybody together to do an album for years. I feel like what was the last time? Was it?
It ain't easy. Believe that. It been the last studio album we did, all 5 was.
It wasn't Thug World Order, was it?
No, we did the Unified album.
Unified, that's it.
At Warner Brothers, yeah. We did the Unified album and, you know, different singles and things we did, but other than like really a studio album to say this group right here, this resilience, the resiliency of Bone Thugs and Harmony, the legacy, you know, is really here to stay. Like, so it's not hard getting 5 people in the same room on the same page, and after so long, you know what I mean? Like it's not hard. It's not hard with our chemistry at all. The chemistry is automatic all the time, but you know, over time, we got all different things going on.
Yeah.
So it's like being on a basketball team. You know, once you practice together and go through preseason warm-ups, that's what the little singles are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now we ready for the season.
Is this how does it feel though? Just because, like you said, it's been a minute, man. I'm sure those sessions had to be fun, and it's got to feel good to get everybody kind of back in the fold. The shows, everyone's together on the shows again. Like, how does it just feel good? Does it feel right?
I mean, to be totally honest, man, it's a challenge. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. It feels great. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you ain't seen your family in a minute, you come home, like you go away to school or something, and you go home for Thanksgiving. It's that feeling, you know what I mean?
Right.
You back home with your family. You can let your hair down. You don't have to worry about what the outside people got to say, and you can actually be yourself. So that's what it is with Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like the family part is always good, but you know, getting everybody out of our own business is always gonna be a challenge too.
Yeah, it's funny because I know like the fans always kind of You're like the Leonardo of the Ninja Turtles of Bone Thug. You're kind of like the unofficial leader.
They call me the glue.
Yeah, you're the glue. You're the glue that kind of keeps you could get busy on the phone. You could get crazy on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that responsibility? Because I do feel like you are the most like out there. Like if there's a hip hop show in LA or there's some shit, like you might run into like you're very much outside.
Right.
Do you feel like you are kind of the glue, the leader of the crew that kind of can just pull everyone together when it's possible, when it needs to happen?
Well, putting titles on things is easy to cause frictions. I wouldn't say I'm the leader, you know what I mean? But I do lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we all got a title of leadership in Bone Thugs and Harmony, but we all play different roles.
100%.
So from the beginning of the conception of Bone Thugs and Harmony, it's always been my job from when we
you guys were the Band-Aid Boys.
When we was the Band-Aid Boys, it's been my job to, call a meeting. We having a party on Saturday. We having a house party on Saturday. Cray, let's meet at my mama house. We gonna get our steps together. We gonna get our routines together, and we gonna go turn that party out on Saturday. So that's just me. That's my nature. That's what I do. I was like, the empathy that I feel for my brothers is like it's always pulling towards me. So it's been my family, man. I've been took away from my family at an early age. So
yes.
You know what I mean? So to keep us together has always been my prime objective.
Can you kind of take me back? Because for people who don't know, you guys did start off as the Band-Aid Boys in Cleveland, right? And then it turned into you guys releasing Bone Enterprise,
right,
which was not Bone Thugs and Harmony yet.
Right.
What was the initial idea to start recording, and like how did you guys come up with that first name, the Band-Aid Boys?
Well, the Band-Aid Boys, so give you a timeline. Band-Aid Boys, it all came together 7th grade, 1986, 85, 86. It all came together, you know what I mean? I met Crazy Bone. Actually, me and my brother, when we went to our junior high FDR, we both met Cray at different times, but on the same thing. Like I beatboxed for Cray one time, and Crazy had actually set up a beatbox like this dude in my science or English class can beatbox. He was like, I think you should challenge him.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? So me and my brother, when Cray, brought it together, I'm like, nigga, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? So it was like junior high, Band-Aid Boys. It was me, Crazy Bone, my brother, Flesh and Bone, and my homeboy K Chill back then, So then after junior high, so all through that process, we went talent shows, we winning, we becoming a name in school, you know what I mean? And then after junior high, summer, high school, that split us up a little bit. K Chill went to Glenville.
Well, Flesh ended up playing basketball, right?
Yeah, Flesh. We went to Lincoln West High, and my brother started playing basketball. He became, they team. He was the man. They team was the shit. So he was a very well known in that. And me, Cray, and Wish at the time, we was the niggas who wasn't doing nothing in school. So after junior high, I got caught up, and that's when I said I got took away from my family. Selling drugs. We've been through the whole crack era. You know what I mean? Just so that split us up for a minute. And my main objective when I got out of that situation, because I had went to Texas. Long story short, my main objective, because I was rapping everywhere I went. Yeah. So they was like, I knew we had something. So my main objective was to get this group of ours back together. K Chill was doing music in Cleveland. He put out some music. Then I hooked up with K Chill, and we got a manager. His name was Kermit, and got the fellas back together after I came from Texas. And we start, me and Cray was looking for a group name because the Band-Aid Boys wasn't
It
happening
wasn't
no
gonna
more.
work. Yeah.
We used to wear Band-Aids up under our eyes.
Hey,
know what I
before
mean?
other people were doing the
Yeah,
band.
before-
Yeah. Shout out to Nelly, but
Shout
this
out
was
to
the
Nelly.
80s.
I love Nelly, but yeah, we had the Band-Aid up under our eye. One day, Cray wore that thing to school, and K Chill was like, "Yeah, that's it right there. We the Band-Aid Boys."
Wow.
So long story short, I got back from Texas, and I was Bizzy Bone, and I had a friend who was from out here. His name was Layzie Roundtree. He was Wishbone, and I brought that concept back from Cleveland, the Bone Enterprise, and Cray had a group called Niggas Beyond Compare or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we voted on Bone. I was busy. Cray was Be Smart. Flesh was still Beatty Rock. Bizzy hadn't even came into the picture yet.
Right. That was your name first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I was busy for years, but when I got back with Cray was like, I'm like, so when we decided on Bone, we like, well, what would your Bone name be? He like, nigga, I'm crazy. And me, cause Cray is the one I always look to far as rapping and inspiration in music. He had all the posters and shit on the wall, Big Daddy Kane, and he knew all that. So I changed my name from Bizzy to Layzie.
Layzie and Crazy.
Layzie to rhyme with crazy.
Yeah.
Because they, back then niggas would call us Kid and Play and
Right.
and the light skin and dark skin when Kid and Play, Crisscross, and all that type of shit. So,
Right.
yeah. Then, we in high school, and we back at it again as Bone Enterprise. We winning all the talent shows again, and that's when Wishbone, being my cousin, he was always in the streets. You know what I mean? So he never really even wanted to rap on some straight up shit. He like, nigga, I got money. I don't know
Right.
what y'all talking about. So he was hustling, but he became Wishbone. And then my mom introduced me to Bizzy Bone through my mom, and his mom was good friends from the hood because they was hustling and doing shit like that. You know what I mean? And then when I met MC Mello was his name, but this energy this nigga had, I had already discarded it. I'm like, man, that nigga, he gotta be busy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we did talent show after talent show. Next couple of years, selling dope, doing whatever we had to do. And I get shot one night, and I'm like, I ain't never selling this shit again.
It ain't worth it.
And dedicated my life to this. And then, so at that time, 99th was super hot. You know what I mean? Wally had got murdered, who we wrote the original Crossroads about. And, we like, shit, man, we got to get out of here. And our favorite rappers at the time was NWA.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And they had just broke up. So
right. That's about the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the question was to all in the hood, like, well, who would y'all niggas sign with? We like, nigga, we want to be with Eazy-E. Because, Dr. Dre, they was bumping at the time. Eazy-E was like the underdog.
Right.
We felt like we'd out-rap any niggas, whoever they was. You know what I'm saying? So we like Eazy-E. And we just kept Eazy-E, just, when we left.
Did you guys send a demo? Because this is back in the day, you had demo tapes, right?
Yeah,
like that was kind of how you would have to get someone's attention because the internet didn't exist.
Yeah, but we had a tape out.
The Bone Enterprise.
We had the Bone Enterprise tape out in Cleveland, but none of that played a part into us meeting Eazy-E. We actually went to California on blindfolded. You know what I'm saying? We came out here, like, everybody know that story, one-way bus tickets. Yep.
Figured it out.
Yeah, they don't know the struggle of it, but we was persistent with Eazy-E, and we rapped for him, end up getting backstage while he was in Cleveland. And, the rest of that is history. So, yeah, and we was still Bone Enterprise when we met Eazy-E. You know what I mean? We had a song called Thugs in Harmony. And Eazy-E was like, "Hey man, y'all niggas should be Thugs in Harmony." But
you were
Bone,
Bone.
but
You guys,
Bone was all of our last name.
that's all everyone's name. You're already committed to the
Right.
Bone thing.
Yeah, we was Bone. That's our bloodline name. You know what I mean? So it was like, put that shit together, Bone Thugs in Harmony, and here we go.
Did you guys already have any of Creeping on a Come Up wrote before you signed with Eazy, or was that all new shit? Like you guys end up working with Eazy-E and then you work on that stuff from scratch?
I mean, we probably had most of that shit wrote. You know what I mean? When we got with Eazy-E, man, we was ready.
You had him just in,
You know what
just,
I mean?
yeah.
We used to, when the box used to come on, we had Dr. Dre beats come on that motherfucker. We write all we had. We had all kind of flows to Dre shit back then. But yeah, we was ready when we was definitely ready when we met Eazy-E. We probably had Creeping on to Come Up and Have East 1999.
That's
done.
crazy. What I always wondered this because as a kid, like when you're like, I mean, I was born in 87, so Creeping on to Come Up was 94, 95.
94.
Yeah, so I was 7. When I hear like Mr. Ouija,
Right.
I'm like, kind of was like creepy, you know?
Right.
I was like, are these fools devil worshippers?
Right. Well,
How much of that did y'all deal with?
man, I still
Because
did.
I know it was out there. If I was a little kid listening to the Ouija,
I'm glad you asked, man, because let's dispel this shit.
I know you
right
guys aren't,
now.
but I'm saying
We believe in the Lord, you know. There's Jehovah Witness, Baptists, Muslims, all in my group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But back
Lord.
then, I'm sure when people heard that, they were like, what the fuck kind of...
But that was a song we actually wrote in high school. I forget who it was. It was a girl. She brought a Ouija board to school. And we was in the back of we was all cutting class and shit, playing with the Ouija board. Ouija, are you with me? You know what I mean? So, you know, everything we've experienced, I believe damn near, well, not damn near, everything we have experienced in this life, we wrote about it. Whatever we went through, whether it was shooting, praying, you know, partying, whatever it was, we wrote songs about it, and the Ouija just happened to be one.
And then it kind of gets like, it's like a part of your guys' lore, kind of.
Right.
Right.
I mean, because we are mystic to a point.
For sure.
Because we've been, you know, for the success we had, we've been less involved, to me, in my opinion, less involved with the industry than any group that made it to our success. We always been in the cut.
100%. It's crazy too, because if you think about Creeping on a Come Up, you have like 2 of your guys' biggest records on there, Thuggish Ruggish and For the Love of Money. My favorite song on there though is like, by far, No Surrender's my shit.
Right.
That's like kind of like y'all's version of Fuck the Police, kind of.
Yeah, that'll charge any nigga up on the block, for real.
That was something that you guys had dealt with a lot of like police shit, but police brutality and shit, dealing with shitty cops in Cleveland, I'm assuming.
I caught my first case when I was 14.
Yeah.
That's what changed my life. You know what I mean? And besides the bullet, but other than that, like, yeah. But back to that Ouija thing, yeah, man, the Lord Jesus Christ is our Savior, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's funny because Tech Nine went through the same shit.
That's what we do, man. we write songs about things that we experience, and I had to explain it. It's a Parker Brother game. We got it from Toys R Us, you know what I mean?
Well, also, at the end of the day, this is entertainment.
Right.
So it's like, I also feel like back then, because the other artists who I would listen to, and I loved the music, but I was like freaked out, was Brother Lynch.
Right.
Because Brother Lynch had some crazy lyrics about eating people. And I'd be like, I believed him though, but it was good.
Yeah, so that whole era though, the Ghetto Boys,
Mind Playing Tricks,
Gangsta Nip. We used to listen to that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Now, it was an era that people, but I just like, it's just funny because like
they called it horror rap back then.
Yes, horrorcore. Yeah, even like RZA, Prince Paul, they did the Gravedigger shit in the 90s.
Right.
Like, hey, we got to stop the interview to tell you about our good folks, ODDSOX, man. Now, these are the ODDSOX basics, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when I tell you, this is a product that every single day I'm alive for the last 5-6 years, I have used. are these ODDSOX basics. Now, what ODDSOX is doing is they're kind of reinventing the sock game, if we're being honest, and the underwear game. You know, a lot of times you'll hit Walmart, you'll hit Target, you'll get some socks, you'll get some draws. They're affordable. They end up with holes in them. They don't really feel great. Not ODDSOX, ladies and gentlemen. These ODDSOX basics are the most comfortable socks I've ever had on my feet. Not only that, but they're super affordable. $14.99 for a 6-pack. That's it. ODDSOX.com. And if you don't believe me,
Sock check, fool.
sock check, fool. Wait, the X is on the other side. There we go. Ah! You see that? Sorry, you had to see those white legs. But it's so dope that, you know, I get to push a product that I use and that I love. So ODDSOX, they got the 6-pack of socks for $14.99 at ODDSOX.com. The basics. This is the future of socks, the future of underwear, comfort and affordability. I'm talking about affordability without jeopardizing the quality, because they are the most comfortable socks you'll ever put on your feet, ladies and gents. And the et ceteras. Got to show love to the et ceteras. We like all the stripes on the flag. They're ODDSOX.com, man. Much love to my brothers over there. Make sure you get some right now. ODDSOX.com. Let's get back to the interview. So obviously, Creeping on a Come Up drops, and it is huge. When you guys, you say a lot of the East 99 stuff is already written, but it really feels like that album, man. You know, you guys did it at Rock the Bells, front to back. I saw you guys on tour in Tampa in like 2014, maybe, when you guys did that tour. Were you doing most of East 1999?
Yeah, we did an East 1999 tour.
Yes. So you dropped that like a year and some change later. What's the pressure like? Okay, now because Creeping on a Come Up's like low key an EP,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? For like 90 standards.
Right.
East 1999, full project,
Right.
a fucking classic. Do you guys feel the pressure?
I mean, that's really when life kicked in. It wasn't really pressure. It was life was lifing. You know what I mean? Like shit. That time, Flesh was going through some issues with the laws. You know, Eazy-E didn't even get to see East 1999 come out.
Right.
We lost Eazy-E in that process. So when we first got with Eazy, man, when we went to the studio with Unique and Rhythm D and all these different guys, man, when we went to the studio with them, we was so loaded with raps. We was humming tunes to everybody, and they was on it, making these beats and things like that. Like, we probably dropped like 50 songs.
Crazy.
We was in the studio. When we got with Eazy-E, we was in the studio. We had no distractions. Eazy-E let nobody come around us. You know what I mean? He appointed certain people to come around us, like our Watts niggas and a couple of our Inglewood niggas and all that shit. Like he kept us in the studio away from the distractions. So we had tons of material. You know what I mean? By the time E passed. So all that was going on. And it was like we blew up. We was still waiting on the check. You know what I mean? So we still didn't have no bread yet. And we was still in the streets, man.
Creeping on a Come Up's already out.
Creeping on a Come Up already out.
Working on the second project, and you guys are still waiting to reap the benefits of the success.
Right. We was living off a budget.
Right.
We didn't have no money. You know what I mean?
A budget is different.
A budget is the money they spending on you that they gonna charge your ass back and recoup on in the long run. So.
And like at the time, you guys are new to this shit. So you guys are, I mean, at the 90s was a really, really treacherous time in the music industry because you couldn't just upload a song on YouTube. You needed some sort of, you know, path to getting into a record store and distribution. It wasn't as easy as
getting on the radio.
And radio used to matter like crazy, right? So it's like back then, like it's like, yeah, of course we'll sign. Let's go, you know?
I mean, that was our ticket out the ghetto, you know what I mean? We didn't know the business. You know what I mean? The business we learned it in reverse. We lived it.
And then you had to figure, and then you had to work backwards.
Still working backwards. We still trying to get our masters, but I guess we'll get to that.
I think, I think like you know, I don't want to jump too far ahead because I want to go back to East 1999 a bit, but I do think like you guys, there's 5 of y'all, right?
Mhm.
So that's a lot of personality. All of y'all are different. All of y'all got, like you said. But I just remember there was like this weird phase where like you would see like Bone projects coming out, or even like I think you and Bizzy might have did some random stuff
We
with
did
like
Bone Brothers.
and then High Power Records. Y'all had like one-off albums with them, and then there was like I remember when Big Kaz was banging Mo Thugs in Arizona, like, you know, he was the owner, and I was like, what is going on here? There was just all these just a bunch of very weird like pockets of y'all's career timelines, but it always kind of came back to like the music industry did not do these dudes their proper respect from the beginning. Like you
Well-
said, like it's crazy. You guys should own your masters.
So, but that's why when I called you earlier, I'm like, yeah, I was kind of skeptical of what we was gonna talk about because I really wanted this whole thing to be about the resilience of Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like,
I think, bro,
we are not supposed to be here.
100%.
We was supposed to be out of the game. You know what I mean? Like, Eazy-E died, man.
yeah.
Right after, we only knew E for, I keep telling everybody, 15 months of our life we knew this man. And this, we talking 30 years
And
later
then now
now.
your career is in the hands of not the guy who brought you into the game.
Right. And yeah, now we fighting all kind of people. I'm talking about record executives. You got people, everybody petitioning to get, well, let's go get Bone. Let's see if we can steal Bone from Ruthless. But we was loyal to Eazy-E.
Yeah.
You know, everybody came knocking on my door. That's how I got the first Mo Thug deal.
Such a
That's
great,
how
that album was so good.
That's how we got Flesh and Bone to Def Jam.
Mm-hmm.
Leor Cohen's and DMC from Run DMC, them niggas showed up at my house. My mama cooking them chicken and shit like that, but they really came to get Bone, but Flesh was going through his thing in the like jail thing, so it was like, well, my brother didn't sign the Ruthless.
Right. He went to jail. So
Right.
that's
so
where
I'm
the
like,
Thugs album
I'm like,
comes.
now we could do business like this.
Yeah.
So that's where Mo Thugs came from, and then I did with Relativity.
Heaven's Movie, the Bizzy album drops, and then Crazy does his
Right.
deal with Relativity.
Right.
And then
So-
El Burna, I mean, yeah.
So Relativity, or the whole Relativity tree. So after I got the Mo Thug deals, I felt like, you know, solo time.
Ghetto
it was
Cowboys
solo
is
time.
smash.
So I got Cray the deal, I got Bizzy the deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I wasn't even tripping at all on getting myself a record deal because that ain't me. I am the nigga in the club. I am the one that was out politicking and talking, and you know, that's just me.
Yeah.
That's from my days of on the block. That's just my part that I always played in Bone. So
Yeah, because the Mo Thugs compilation comes, right? And then you catch like Ghetto Cowboys and up. I mean, that's still
Thug Devotion,
Thug
Ghetto Cowboy,
Devotion.
Ghetto Cowboy.
That whole album was crazy.
It's All Good.
It's all good. Yes.
All these, man, I mean, we was fucking on fire.
Y'all were fucking up the radio too.
You know what I mean? But at that end, like I said, he had kept us. That's when all the distractions and shit, all the distractions came. Everybody wanted Bone. And I felt like the industry was playing us because, you know, we was wild. We didn't have no guidance. We didn't have nobody giving us no playbook at no time. So we was real hood niggas walking into whatever rooms we was walking into. But the talent was so undeniable and they couldn't get us. So you start hearing other niggas sound like Bone because that's what the industry do. They copy.
So was this around the time? Because I'm a fan of all of these guys. Obviously, I'm a huge Bone fan. And then I remember falling in love with like Crucial Conflict and Do or Die and these guys. But you guys ended up kind of having like a riff Were you? I want to say you guys addressed them on Art of War. Am I tripping?
No. Art of War, yeah, we addressed them.
But what
Do
was
or
the
Die,
yeah
Crucial Conflict,
Twister? So
Yeah.
you guys. So what was the genesis of you guys having issues with the other Midwest guys? Because was it because you thought they sounded like you guys?
No, we never thought they sounded like us. They didn't sound like us to me. You know what I mean? They was just other groups. They came after us.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
They're just other groups from the Midwest, and at
Other
that time,
groups from
it's
the
the most
Midwest.
competitive landscape in hip hop ever.
it's the same playbook that they use on everything. Just how the industry pitted Big and Pop. You know what I mean?
It's like
it
we
was
gotta pit Bone against these other dudes who rap fast and do melodies.
You gotta compare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or because those other groups didn't surface until after us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the industry was on their hunt for Bone Thugs and Harmony. And then I understood it a little later when I watched Lil Wayne's career, because after he became what he became, you see, it was 1,000 Lil Waynes coming out.
So many.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's what they do. It's you rarely have people that innovate and trend set. You know what I mean? You get that once in a generation, and everybody else duplicated.
Random question. Whatever happened to Powder from Mo Thugs? The lone white boy on Ghetto Cowboy. You know, as a white guy, as a kid, I'm like, oh, there's a white dude on this song. That's crazy. Whatever happened to that guy?
Right. Well, that's a good question, because, you know, Powder P was from Tennessee.
Okay.
And one day he popped up on Crazy Bones' doorstep as a rapper. You know, Cray took him in. We all befriended him. And but he had some issues that we was unbeknownst to us, his family and all this type of stuff. I don't know what they were.
Yeah.
You know, I heard what they were, but I don't know what they were. But he just faded into obscurity after you know, he got real weird after the success. You know what I mean? Like, nigga couldn't do interviews.
Oh,
he couldn't answer questions. It was just like didn't know really what his purpose was, because it probably happened so fast. But man, Powder P, he's known to this day.
I mean,
and I don't know where he at.
Ghetto Cowboy, I feel like, has like new life.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna let Crazy tell you about this, but he doing a whole special, whole Netflix. I'll let him tell you about it. But
Shout out to Crazy.
He got some shit for Ghetto Cowboy.
Do you guys have any idea that Crossroads is the record that like changes it all when you record it? It is because I feel like Crossroads is the record that took you guys cracked with Creeping on a Come Up, but Crossroads is what made y'all like
we crossed over
it 100%.
Right.
You guys are in the studio recording this song. Y'all understand like, oh, this one's different.
Yeah, that's what took the Ouija curse up off of us. Cause we went,
and then the video was amazing.
We went from Ouija to I pray, we pray and we pray and we pray
every day.
You know what I mean?
Charles,
so
man.
Yeah, man. And no, we had no idea, not at all. You know what I mean? Because first we did. If anybody if you go back far enough, you will know that on the original album, East 1999, it was a different version of Crossroads.
Yes, it was.
And that was dedicated to Wally.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eazy died.
It's funny because I have as a kid, I had the original CD, and then it got scratched and fucked up. And when I got another one, it was the other version, the new version. Yeah.
Yep. So, and that song, so instead of them releasing that as a single, they pulled the other one off the album and put that one on the album, which was a marketing genius. And that shit pushed our album up like 3-4 million.
Crazy.
That song
was so big. And it's funny too, because like that video, it's so like, it's like imprinted in my head. Like that visuals, it was like it's like an all-time great hip hop video.
Yeah, I mean, it was cutting edge at that time. You know, that's when videos costed a lot, and we had a lot of effects and stuff like that. The face coming out the wall, niggas disappearing, and you know, the ghost, the E going up the mountain, and back then, like now you can do that shit with a click of a button, but back then you had to pay for it. So that video, it was a lot of time and effort put into that.
When you guys end up with Eazy and Ruthless in 94, this is kind of in the thick of like real motherfucking G's and the Snoop Death Row Eazy-E shit. I know like how wrapped up were you guys in, like, obviously you guys signed there. How much of that did you guys inherit energy wise? Because you guys are recording Creeping on a Come Up out here, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So is it like is the tension high? Like if you guys go out or
Oh yeah, the tension was always high. Like we was
this is like peak Suge Knight, you know?
Man.
Suge Knight's a crazy motherfucker.
we was ready to ride on whatever. We was from Cleveland. We didn't know nobody.
Like we don't do this LA shit. We're from the Midwest. It's different.
We was on our own pace, so we was ready to ride for E. But the whole thing was E was like, nah, fuck that. He was like, I don't need y'all for that. You know what I mean? I need y'all to concentrate on y'all shit.
He said he kept you isolated.
Yeah,
like
we was
focus.
isolated, man. Like he was like, do y'all thing and never mess with us while we did our thing. So while he was doing his beef, and I remember, you know, the infamous phone call with when he was in Cleveland when that 92.3 when that call went. I was on the phone arguing back and forth with Daz. You know what I mean? Even that day, and when I snatched the phone and did that, he was upset with me then. I'm
like, yo, you just inserted yourself in this shit.
Yeah, I'm like, and Daz, and we was back and forth talking crazy to each other and shit like that, but he didn't want that for us. You know what I mean? But in the streets, it was inevitable because we ran into niggas in certain places and we had words and things had to be dispersed and things like, so we had our episodes, you know what I mean, but it wasn't nothing that because we knew what E Wishes was, you know, he said he seen something different for us. He probably seen what we living now. You know what I mean? So he was getting away from that. He was putting NWA back together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So but on the scene, like to the eye, to the public, it looked like they was going at it, but really Eazy-E was behind the scenes like, man, I gotta get my group back together because y'all couldn't fuck with us. This was our arguments. We're like, man, we tear y'all niggas up, E.
Do you, like, because you guys are the first people to really bring, like right now, hip hop is so melody driven, right? Everyone has to have melody, and they I mean, look, if you think about guys like Future and all these guys, like you guys coming from Cleveland, come to the West Coast. We know what's hot at the moment. You know what I'm saying? You're bringing something new to the game where you're combining like these harmonies and this singing and everybody and it just it is different. Were you guys at all scared on how the marketplace might take? Because you guys don't sound like anything at that time, which is why I think it worked. But were you guys ever nervous? Like, man, we doing some new shit. We don't know if it's gonna work or not. But
see, the thing about that is we didn't know we was doing some new shit, so we was doing us.
you're just doing y'all,
We was just doing he knew he was doing some different shit.
right?
Cause he would always, hey man, do that harmony shit y'all be doing. We'd be like, no, nigga, you asked us to rap. We finna rap against these niggas. He like, nah, man, do that harmony thing. You know what I mean? So he saw it, but we was just being ourselves, man. And to be totally honest, the names you named and hip hop changed totally after us. We did that.
100%.
And that's why I'm on doing these podcasts and all this, because before we come back, I want everybody to understand that Bone Thugs and Harmony trend set it this whole game. We changed it. It was an Atari. And then we changed that shit to a Xbox.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
sure.
saying? It was a PlayStation or a Dreamcast, and we turned that shit into a Sega Genesis. So we upgraded it. We didn't know that mixing the harmonies and the flows. We didn't understand that because that's what we grew up to. We grew up from R&B. You know what I mean? We grew up singing, our parents and all that. So it was natural for us when we bagging each other up on stage, we singing each other's shit.
Makes sense.
And that's where all that came from. But yeah, we started all like this. And another thing, let's address it while we're here. Like, you know, every generation brings something to the table for the next generation to grow off of. You know what I mean? So, and that's what we did, man. We brought something to the table, and next thing you know, the flows was getting more similar to ours. Everybody was singing. You heard Mariah Carey flipping the flow. You heard different ones doing elements of Bone Thugs and Harmony, but we didn't have anybody to really advocate for us to be like, this is what they brought. So to this day, we got to remind people that we started that shit.
Yeah, I feel like you got to kind of be your own. You got to control your narrative, because if you don't control your narrative, other people will control it for you. And no one's going to go out of their way to give people credit. And like, there are people who do, like, shit. Wiz Khalifa's got a new record on his last album. And he's got y'all tattooed on his leg.
Yeah, I mean.
But Wiz literally pays homage. Like, it's obvious he's paying. It's the Max Beef joint. And he just does he does your guys' flow flawlessly. Man. And I talked to him about it, and he was like, yeah, like I was paid, he's a fan.
Yeah, I mean, and we did, and we do amongst our peers, we do get our props now. You know what I mean? Like, you got the Wiz Khalifas, the ASAP Rockies. And, and, he was like, that's why we all ASAP. He told me that one day. And I'm just like, and it feel good. Nobody gonna go out their way to give you your flowers. You gotta earn that, you know what I mean? So we still earning ours because we still got something to prove. So the future is on its way.
Yeah, and I think too, like you said, man, like there's a world in which like you guys aren't, like you said, the success comes, people start going solo, the group kind of, disperses, everyone kind of goes their way, you guys come back together, we get the Strength and Loyalty album under Swizz Beatz, which was a fucking incredible album. But, at the same time, it's like, there's a world in which, like, what happens if you guys never split up for that little period of time, Because I feel like, was it after Resurrection, or was it after Thug World Order? Was kind of like the time where it was like, because Unify came pretty after Strength and Loyalty, right?
That was 2010.
Yeah, that was after Strength and Loyalty.
Yeah.
So I wonder, just like, one, I want to talk about the masters thing, because the new thing that artists are doing, which I think you guys can do, Taylor Swift did it. The Alcoholics just did it.
Re-record your shit. Right. And we have.
And what I mean? Why not release a new version of Creeping on a Come Up where you guys can get paid off of it properly?
Right. And we will.
It'd be a little harder because you guys got to get everybody together. Again, you're working on a new album, let alone, re-recording the old stuff.
But over the years, we have been recording our songs over, you know what I mean? But still very important to us to get those particular masters back too.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
What is the uphill battle there?
I mean, it's a 30-year period. You know what I mean? Like
then they come back to you.
They don't automatically come back to you. You got to go get them. It's a process to that too. You know what I'm saying? So
they're not going to give them to you. You got to take them back.
Yeah, if we wasn't on our business, they'd keep them forever, and they would be licensing them. So if you look around, you see artists that came out after us. Now they music and all these commercials and things like that. That's because, and you don't hear Bone in those capacities, is because we fighting for our masters because we don't have them to license.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about: the ownership, the licensing. This is what the conversation of today is. You know what I mean? So. And I thank God for the internet because, we've been independent doing solo shit the whole time.
And I feel like you talked about resilience earlier. Just your growth, man, in the last decade has been tremendous. I feel like I feel like I used to be an
Thank
AZ DJing at Jaguars, and I'd be like, "Oh, Layzie's here," but you'd always be super fucked up, and I'm like, "Damn!" Every time I see Layzie, bro, this fool's faded as fuck. But
Yeah,
it's-
I heard you say that one time. That shit made me think too. I said, you know what, you right, and I was, you know what I mean, like, but that's how I would go out and mask all like I'm a people person. I love to
course.
be around people, but really I'm going through a tremendous amount of stress. I got PTSD severely, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and the only way I can really get out there and promote my shit was to always be in the public like that. But I've always knew to put that shit down. You know
But
what
I feel like you've been super dialed in, man. Every time I've seen you recently, you're dialed the fuck in. I feel like this Bone album isn't even possible unless you're dialed in. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's dope. Like, shit, 32 years later, is it? 32 years since Creeping on the Come Up? We're going to get a new Bone album?
Get a new Bone
With
album.
everybody?
Man. We coming together like Voltron in this motherfucker.
What is it? Because it always, so, you know, I feel like Bizzy Bone is one of the more like eclectic enigmas in music. If you've ever met him, he's a one of one guy, you know? And it's always like, oh, Bone's coming to town. And then the first question always is like, well, is Bizzy going to be there?
Right.
What is it about Bizzy that you think is misunderstood the most? Because he is a unique individual.
What's misunderstood? I mean, I don't know if it's even misunderstood. He's just a musical genius. He's obsessed with his craft. You know what I mean? And anybody that's so into their thing like that, like, is different.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could take a Michael Jackson. He was great. He was different because he had an obsession about his stuff. Michael Jackson had skill. I mean, Michael Jordan had skill. He was obsessed with his art. You know what I mean?
Right.
Muhammad Ali was great because he was obsessed with his stuff. The greatness came with the integrity, and Bizzy has all that. But the thing I think is misunderstood about him is that they always clump our story together when Bizzy had a story before Bone Thugs and Harmony that the world didn't get to see first.
Till recently.
You know what I mean? So now it's an understanding. Now we're all understanding. Like, life moves so fast, and none of us had a clear understanding of how to do this shit. So we had to grow up, have families, different ambitions, and, you know, figure out that we all love the same thing and learn to respect that everybody did their individual part to make this what it is. You know what I mean? So, you know, Bizzy had the voice, you know, Crazy Bone, the flow, the mastermind, you know what I'm saying? Flesh and bone on the business, and the flow. And Wishbone with his harmonies, because Wishbone got a lot of harmonies with them Bone Thugs.
For
and
sure.
Harmony, you
I
know
think
what
people, because Wish is the,
and the lieutenant at arms too.
well, if you think about Wish is like the guy who you said earlier, like didn't really want to rap.
Yeah.
And it feels like, because he's kind of like there's no Wishbone solo album.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
But because of that, I think sometimes we underrate like Wish on these records he's on. Like, and by the way, Buckshots, his solo song on Art of War is my shit.
Yeah. And but that's what make him him. You know, cause he don't even move unless it's Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. He's the only guy who never did a solo album.
Right. And really don't care too.
He's like,
although he doing one now.
Right.
Cause you know,
Oh,
now,
is he?
Now he working on the Wishmaster or whatever he
That's
calling that motherfucker. But yeah, it's just we still got shit to prove, man.
So your guys' legacy is also, you guys are the only people to have a record with Eazy-E, Tupac, and Biggie.
Mm-hmm.
Which this was not some like, you know, after they passed. No, you worked with, I mean, obviously you signed with Eazy, you worked with Eazy, but in this 3-year period, you guys end up working with, you know, three of the biggest icons ever. And, you know, when we look back at hip hop history, I think Tupac and Biggie's deaths will always stick out as, you know, one of the biggest storylines to ever, for better or for worse, obviously, come out of the music industry. Talk about the Tupac session, man. What's you and Tupac, you guys rapping over the gunshot and all that shit? Like, how you guys get the gunshot and the beat? Whose idea is it? How's the session?
I mean, the idea to beat the energy from the song came from DJ Unique and his team.
Shout out to Unique.
You know what I mean?
Also another guy who doesn't get talked enough about when it comes to just all-time producers.
Right. So I wasn't in the studio. I met Pac on different occasions. My stories about Pac is really not about the studio. Actually, Bizzy was trying to claim that song as his own.
Oh, so Thug Love, he was trying to put that shit probably on Heaven's Movie or something?
Because him and Heaven's Movie wasn't even thought about yet. But I don't know how the story exactly go, but somehow Silky Fine, Bizzy Bone, and hooked Bizzy Bone up with Tupac, and we had a Bone session, and they went there to do it. I guess they let Unique know. Unique said he had a beat, boom, boom, boom. We came and heard it.
So you heard it with the gunshots already?
Yeah, I'm third on the record.
Yeah.
So as soon as I heard it, I jumped on that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yo, this sounds crazy.
And I didn't know B wanted it for his solo album at the time. So I'm like, you got me fucked up, nigga. This Tupac.
Yeah, this going on the Bone shit.
Hey, man. And then we really wasn't even solo. That wasn't in the cards yet.
It hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, so to his energy in the studio that day, I really can't tell you, but I do know if you ask DJ Unique, they say the nigga was bouncing off the walls. Just I know his energy. You know, I know his energy, so I could imagine what it was for them. And Bizzy was there, so he could tell you better.
Was you say you had some experiences with Pac outside of the studio? What was he like?
Well, when I first met Biggie, I met him at the Le Parc Hotel. You know what I mean?
Biggie or Pac?
I mean, not Biggie. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Tupac. When I first met him at the Le Parc Hotel. We was all staying there. Like everybody used to stay at the Le Parc Hotel for some reason. The Outlaws was there, Bone Thugs was there, Tupac fresh out of jail, pull up. You know, I'm a fan of the game first. So I see Tupac, I go talk to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll never forget, he told me, he say, my favorite song was Crossroads while I was in there. But he was referring to the first Crossroads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, shit, where the weed at? He gave me some weed, and we went up to the room, and it was 40 niggas in there, and, you know, we just vibing, and I'm, you know, and just watching him talk about Thug Nation and bringing all the thugs together and all that shit. And so, yeah, that was my first experience.
Do you think, like, it's interesting, too, because, like, he becomes the face of Death Row. Easy passes.
Mm-hmm.
Was it hard to make the record happen because of the prior Ruthless Death Row thing? Obviously, it had calmed down by then, but I just wonder if, like, was there any?
Not at all, man, because Eazy-E and Tupac was friends.
Yeah.
Regardless of what everybody else was going through, them niggas was cool with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then we was on some thug shit.
Well, I think Pac came to Death Row after Eazy passed, though, too. So, right? Or around the time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 90. It was right before he passed.
Yeah.
Right before Tupac passed.
I just wonder if, like, you know, if, like, Suge's like, no, we can't clear that. It's on Ruthless. Or if, you know, Miss Wright's like, it's a...
No, it wasn't none of that. The energy was so big. It was Bone and Tupac.
That record's so crazy.
Like, you can't turn that down for nothing. The talk was too big.
So I know Steve Lobel's told me a bit about you guys getting in with Biggie. Notorious Thugs is so crazy because you guys, like you said, a lot of people have done your flow. Biggie was able to replicate your guys' flow in his own way.
Right.
In such a legendary way, by the way.
Mm-hmm. See, and that was such an honor in our eyes because we didn't get to. So we was all in the studio together. We smoked, we drank, we had a good time. You know, the whole Bad Boy was in there, Almost Thug, Bone Thugs and Harmony. We were all in there, and you know, Big didn't do his part that night, and we didn't hear him until after he had passed. So when we heard that shit, it was like Armed and Dangerous, and he was flipping the flow, and it was just like that was the first time we had a nod to say, he gave us our props, which made New York give us our props.
Yeah,
Because
if he does it,
up until then, them New York niggas was hard on us, man.
Yo.
Going to perform in New York, we had some slim crowds for a minute. And then, you know,
well, that's
after
where the Source
97,
Awards were always at, right? Like when you guys would go to, because I know you guys were at the Source Awards one year at least.
yeah,
sure.
we was at the first Source Awards.
Yeah, the legendary one.
That's when the shit was going down.
You guys were just like, shit.
Man,
Was there any tension in the crowd between you guys and Death Row?
hell yeah.
Yeah.
We was rapping to them niggas. They was sitting right there. We doing our thing, and it was, that was
I had to be,
kids. If you didn't, man, you had to be there.
had to be there.
Kids, you had to be there. If you didn't see them award shows back then, like, thank God everything got back to normal.
You guys end up doing the double album with Art of War. And at that time, there's not a lot of double albums. Obviously, I believe you guys dropped before Biggie. I think 8 Ball had a triple album. Master P had dropped some shit later on, like 98, 99.
Tupac had the first one.
Tupac had All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me. That's what made us say, you know what, we doing a double album.
Well, yeah, because it's like every time someone buys the album, it would count as 2 sales back then.
Hell
It was
yeah.
like a nice little.
Yep.
So-
We had all them songs, and we didn't know. We didn't know you can put out a double album.
Right.
And I didn't know that until Pac did it, and we was in. And Cray was like, "Yep, that's what it is. We doing a double."
Who came up with the theme of the artwork where you guys are like fucking old school, like medieval looking warrior bros on there? Like,
So we was
you guys got
Cassandra.
armor and shit.
shout out to Cassandra Ware, man. She was instrumental in like our imagery on that album. You know what I mean? So we had a marketing A&R lady that ran the company that was just she was a genius. She had ideas. Just the ideas when we had an idea for a rap, she had a visual idea in her mind for
Wow.
it. You know what I mean? So she was like, you know, let's do this old medieval shit, and then, you know, everybody have a certain look of, you know, different time eras of war. So
I came
yeah,
out crazy.
that's what we did.
And then you guys do the solo songs on the album. By the way, shout out to Bizzy because that body rod just fucking Jesus, man. That body rod's one of them ones, bruh.
That Body Ride, man. I mean that album, man, that's classic. So
Around this time, you guys end up like this is the soundtrack era, and you guys end up on the Batman and Robin soundtrack. If I Could Teach the World.
no, that
was
was
Look
Look
Into
Into
My
My
Eyes.
Eyes. Yeah.
I remember the video. Y'all got Batman in the motherfucking video and shit. Like,
Yeah, we had the back car. We was balling in the back car, man. That shit was dreams coming true at that time.
yeah, man, it's crazy. So, kind of let me know, man. Like, fast forward to now. Like, what is it about this Conor McGregor situation? Because he put out an incredible Exhibit album with X. That Kingmaker's incredible. Greenback Records is obviously based in Ireland. They're scooping up some OGs. You know what I'm saying? What was the initial link up? Where is it Conor that's a fan, or how does this happen? Where you guys end up?
I mean, well, Conor was a fan. You know, we did a lot of shows. We was doing shows with Bobby D Presents.
Shout out to Bobby D.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which Bobby D is part of our management now too. You know what I mean?
Great
So,
move, man.
yeah.
Shout out to Bobby D. Bobby D's got it
Bobby
figured
D
out.
Presents. So whatever that relationship between he was, and you know, so they came and put something on the table, and Bobby D, Rob Parker, all these guys. So, you know, when the idea came, we was ready to put out our own. You know, we want to put out our own shit.
Yeah.
But it's 5 of us, and it take a lot of planning, and it take a team and things like that. But we also wanted to stay independent. So when the deal came across the table, and it was basically for an independent licensing deal.
Where you guys get to keep your masters, I'm
we
sure.
keep our
Yep.
masters. We license our shit to them for a certain amount of years, and also that purse that Conor McGregor
Had to be nice.
had to put behind it. You know, we needed the bankroll.
Yeah.
Be honest with it. You know what I mean? Because we wanted to compete with our peers. We could have did it ourselves, but we wanted to come back and have a presence to say, you know, y'all know where y'all got this shit. We finna give y'all a Bone Thugs and Harmony with some finance behind us, so we can give it to y'all the way we really want to, and once and for all put it to bed of who the greatest group ever that touched this game. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the mission is, to let everybody know, you know, all shots paying homage to everybody that came before us, everybody that came after us. But 32 years in the game, we gonna seal the deal forever, ever. And having that licensing deal gave us the most leverage to do everything we wanted to do after the album.
You guys are also going to be, there's a tour tied to this too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So we going on tour. The new album is coming. So come April.
When's the album coming? April?
Late April, early May for the album, and we gonna go on tour. Probably start promoting the album on tour a week or two before the album come out, and that should be middle April. By May, we got the album out, full blown, going on tour. Live Nation is involved. You know, again, Bobby D presents. Uncle Snoop's Army is involved. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Shout to Snoop, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, right? How you guys are on like rival labels back in the day, and now you guys are everyone's together and copacetic.
it all came full circle. Eazy-E would be really, really proud, man.
Do you still keep in contact with his wife? With Eazy's wife?
Every blue moon would, you know, now these days, I used to talk to her a lot, but I don't think she want nothing to do with the music industry. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. I mean, she kind of got put into an interesting position. I know she gets a bad rap sometimes, but it's like, hey, her husband passed away and she had to figure this shit out.
Yeah, we gave her the blues, man. So, but you know, we was all trying to figure it out. But, you know, she stayed around for a long time. And I guess, you know, her kids was growing up. She's a woman and she had to,
Figure it out.
a woman got a lot to do.
Speaking of kids, is your son still rapping? J-Bone?
Yep, J-Bone, Stevan the Don, Lil Stevie, you know, all my kids, Trinity, all my children is super musically inclined. So that's what I'm trying to get to. We're going to seal this Bone deal so they can't be denied.
You know what I think would be dope? We talked a little bit about you guys redoing your old songs. I bet you if you guys, I'll tell you what would go viral. First of all, you guys got to do a Tiny Desk performance. Have you seen the Tiny Desk shit?
Man, I've been trying to get Bone to do a Tiny Desk. We going to do it.
Listen,
We talked to him.
when Juvenile did it, when Payne did it, listen, if you guys did a proper Tiny Desk, it would go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But you guys should record like an unplugged version with like live instrumentation of the, like, you know how Jay-Z and Nirvana, Lauryn Hill had the unplugged albums back in the day with MTV?
Yeah.
Oh, that shit was crazy.
But
Hey, we got to wrap up this interview. Another one presented by Hardin, baby. You already know what it is. Shout out to Hardin for presenting another episode of the Bootleg Kev podcast. Don't forget, when you're in Vegas, you getting that taxi, you getting that Uber, say, take me to Hardin, the #1 cannabis dispensary in the world. Premium selection of the craziest gas you could ever ask for. And then they break down what all the terps mean. It's incredible. Go to Hardin_Las Vegas, shoot them a follow. And when you're in Las Vegas, make sure you shoot them a visit. I want to shine a little bit of light because you guys end up working with Swizz Beatz. And did you guys record a lot of that in Arizona?
yeah, we was at the...
Because Swizz was in Scottsdale running shit up with Full Surface Records.
Yeah. What was the name of that?
It was probably
The studio.
the main one out
Salt
there.
Salt Mine.
Salt Mine.
was
Shout out
the
to Don
shit.
Salter. Yeah.
Yeah, down there.
Salt Mine, the desert oasis.
Yep, man, yeah, we spent a lot of time out there. First time in Arizona, in the summer.
Oh, so
That
you
shit
saw. Oh, it's no fucking joke.
Yeah, it was hot in the studio and it was hot outside, man. So yeah, we did mostly half that album there.
Was that because that record I Tried is a big record for you guys. And it ends up kind of, I think it's your guys' most slept on, I guess, official Bone album. I think there's some shit on there. What was that? Was that like, there's just three of y'all, obviously, but what was that album like for you guys? That had to be a new situation where it's like, all right, well, it's just three of us. Like, everyone else is kind of doing their thing. Working with Swizz Beatz, having his ear, his production, his influence on the music. You get Mariah back on back in the fold on there.
Mm-hmm.
What was that album like working on, man?
Oh man, it was like I think at that time we was just happy to be back at it. We was still waiting on Flesh and Bone to come home.
Yeah.
We tried to get Bizzy a part of that album, but
didn't work out.
It didn't work out. He had things going on, and but we was happy to get back at it, and shit, we was in the studio with Swizz, and that his energy in the studio, Cassidy was around a lot, and that was a great experience, man. It was like, and that was through Interscope too, so we had a lot of support on that album.
Yeah, that's true. No, it was official. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, you're a part of so many random side projects, Bone Brothers stuff, the stuff with Young Noble. What is your favorite Layzie Bone project that isn't necessarily like official Bone album? And let's also exclude the Mo Thugs shit.
Mm-hmm.
The Mo Thugs album. Out of all, let's say over, because you have a lot. Your independent catalog is pretty crazy if you really look it up.
I've been dropping them consistently too. So Harmony House Entertainment, man. I would say the last record I did, 'cause I think I'm still getting better as a solo artist.
Hypnotic
Rhythms. I like the one I did Eyes on the Prize with my homeboy HC the Chemist, who do a lot of production for me solo wise. He do some production for Bone as well. But yeah, man, Eyes on the Prize, Annihilation.
Annihilation was dope. The El Burner album was crazy.
Yeah. I like the one I'm working on right now. I don't ever really go back and I don't go backwards a lot, you know what I mean?
You working on some solo shit right now?
Yeah. I'm working on my album been done. I'm waiting on Bone. It make more sense for me to
you got to get the Bone album. Get the Bone album.
I need that. We need that. The fans want that. You got to supply the demand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. Can you talk about, is there a song or is there any features you could talk about on the new album? Or is there any features?
I really, it ain't no telling what's going to be on the new album. I know we didn't had we only really did like four sessions, right?
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, about 4 sessions, but out of 4 sessions, we got about 40 songs.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean?
So have you guys even sequenced everything yet, or is it still? Because we've gotten some singles.
We know what songs we want to use. Now we on our wish list of features. Who we want to feature.
Who you want to get on it?
We just got a record from my homeboy Gold Rush, that put some shit together for us and Wu-Tang. This shit sound like if Bone met Wu-Tang and had a baby, like this shit is different, and so that's on the wish list. You know what I mean? We want to really collab with them. People that shouted us out over the years. You know
A$AP
what I mean?
Rocky be dope.
A$AP Rocky. Shit, we want Lil Weezy. You know what I mean? We want Buster.
Wiz would be crazy.
We definitely want Wiz Khalifa.
Have you heard the Wiz song I'm talking about? I got to play it for you if you haven't heard it. It's kind of crazy. It sounds...
I might have heard it. I got to hear it, though.
You just got to hear his flow. Shit's hard.
Wiz like, man, I love him, man.
When y'all see him get a bone tattoo, that's got to be like, oh, shit.
That's amazing.
We really, influenced some...
But I knew that because, when we went through Pittsburgh, back in the day, when we was as a kid, we kicked it somehow.
Yeah.
he probably remembers the story better than me, but you know what I mean? Like, I remember kicking it with Wiz and him, you know, he always acknowledged us. So it was just like, you know, people that did things like that, that's on our wish list, you know what I'm saying?
In terms of the greatest groups of all time, who would you put up there with you guys in the top 5?
Rap groups?
Yeah.
Well, shit, you got to start with Run DMC. I mean, really, man, you got to talk eras with me. You know what
So
I
let's
mean?
just say, just according to you, your top 5 groups, you're in there, obviously. Bones in there.
But it's hard for me to have 5 because I'm a hip hop fiend. Run DMC, Ghetto Boys, NWA, EPMD.
Shout out to EPMD, man.
Man, it's so many, man. Outkast, Wu-Tang, you know.
You guys ever have any like Wu-Tang? Because was it Wu-Tang and Bone? Did you guys ever have any sort of intersectioning?
I told that story of intersectioning a little minute ago.
Was it in Vegas?
Nah, it wasn't in Vegas. It was in New York, man. We was at a party.
I feel like I asked Ghostface about this.
Yeah, we was at a party in New York. It was the Russell Simmons.
That's what it was. It was
Christmas party.
Yeah.
Right when Flesh signed the deal, or no, the show soundtrack was coming out,
Crazy.
and we had
I forgot about the show. You guys are on that
everyday thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, and it was a big old misunderstanding up in New York, man, and you know we had to stand our ground. We was on a turf, and things went down. And
so, who did you guys get into it with?
I ain't gonna say no name. We got into it with Wu-Tang. Them niggas. There's a lot of them niggas.
9 of them.
Hey, man.
10 if you count Capadonna.
It was a bunch of them. You know what I mean?
It seems like, I mean, at least it feels like it didn't go past that night, right?
No, it didn't. It never went past that night. I mean, because it was a fight that night. You know what I mean? And it all got broke down because you had people like Chris Lighty involved, Dave Lighty.
Right.
And you know what I mean?
They helped squash it.
You had some overseers that was like, no, yeah, we can't do this. You know what I mean? And then it was at Russ party, so the OGs got involved quick.
And you guys got, like you said, you got business with Russ?
Method Man calmed it down.
Shout out to Meth.
You know what I mean? Method Man was the OG guru, the spokesman. He saw past all that. So yeah, Meth was a big reason why shit never went farther.
That's awesome. You guys were on a tour.
That's in my opinion. Everybody sees shit different.
You guys were on a tour. It was Insane Clown Posse, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Tech Nine, and the Cottonmouth Kings.
Mm-hmm.
I went to this tour as a kid because my cousin was really into the Cottonmouth Kings. And this is the same cousin who's the biggest Bone Thugs fan in the world.
Right.
So you guys had a show at the Mesa Amphitheater in Mesa, Arizona. Looking back now, that's like a wild lineup of artists.
Yeah.
And Tech Nine went on first, you know.
That was different.
How crazy was it going into that world, the Juggalo world? They're launching 2 liters of fucking soda off the stage.
Right.
ICP has its own universe. What is that like when you guys kind of get into that world and you're like, oh, like what was that tour like?
I mean, well, shout out to Shaggy and Violent J, man. You know, they ICP, they really brought everybody together.
Yeah.
We knew how different that shit was, but I didn't even know about the Fago. You know, the pop. When we first went on tour, we was look what
y'all
dressed
fly.
like
yeah.
this. We from, St. Clair, nigga, we getting G'd up, right? Man, that like put these little garbage bags on. And we saw that and it was different because of the makeup and all that. But then backstage, it was just like the makeup, the Fago, how different everybody was in their own lane didn't matter. That was like a family tour. We became family with them niggas like real quick. 2-3 days.
Have you
2-3
have you
shows.
performed at the Gathering of the Juggalos yet?
Man, several times.
Oh man,
Yeah,
what's that like?
Man, I mean, I love the Juggalos. Shout out to them
Oh, them-
Juggalos, man. They if they your fan, if they fans of yours, they gonna hold you
they
down.
gonna hard you. They're
Yeah.
gonna hold you the fuck.
They gonna
down.
hold you down.
Did Psychopathic or Strange Music ever try to sign you guys?
Nope. You know what? I was hoping for a Strange Music connection like that at one point, but we was always tied up, or we was always going through our makeup to breakup type shit. So, you know, for a minute, when that could have happened, we wasn't ready.
Right.
Right.
It's got to be crazy to see Tech like turn into Tech 9. You guys are like, yo, this guy was opening us for us on tour. Like,
Yeah, but Steve Lobel and Travis, I believe they had that conversation, but Steve Lobel.
I feel like, because I'm really close with Tech and Travis in that world, and I feel like I heard the rumblings of that wanting to be a thing.
the writings was on the wall.
and it
man.
would have made so much sense.
The writings was on the wall, man.
This was probably like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about a decade ago.
And I admire Tech so much, man. Like, I wanted that to happen, but you know, I understand why it didn't now.
In terms of choppers, for people who don't know, guys who rap really, really fast, really good. We talked about Tech 9, but you guys are in that conversation. Who do you think is the best chopper outside of Bone Thugs? Just when it comes to just...
Shit, well, who? Eminem?
M's up there.
Twista,
Tech's up there.
Tech's up there.
The homie Ritz can rap really fast, really good.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a bunch of us. I thought Chino XL was
Rest in peace to Chino.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, bro. Shit, it's a bunch of dope ass chopping MCs these days.
Who in the 90s almost stole y'all or got the closest to stealing y'all from Ruthless?
Well, Def Jam, Rap a Lot. Them probably was
Those
the
are two
close twos, because you know we had a little bidding war going on with Flesh and Bone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
No, that's the smart play. He didn't sign.
Yeah.
So when
like, shit, like, bro, what you want to do? We went down there. We spent a lot of time with Lil J. Like I said, I don't know how significant that is to anybody else, but I was always mind blown that DMC showed up to my house. You know what I mean? Like, I got
you got the Adidas
no
sweater.
coincidence. You know what I mean? Like, not a coincidence. I mean, it's just that shit is in my blood. But yeah, man, it was Def Jam. It was, and Rap a Lot really was the main two that was really like trying to get Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, I feel like Def Jam would have been crazy. I feel like Loud would have been crazy.
Mm-hmm. Loud. I don't know. I think Chris Lighty and them was still at Def Jam, or they might have been going over to Loud. I don't know how that. I wasn't paying too much attention to the execs at that time, but yeah, man, we had options.
Do you still have your Grammy Award? And if so, where do you keep it?
Man, I keep my Grammy Award right on my little mantle, and right by my mom's urn. And I got a little mantle with me and my girl got our parents' urns, like my accolades that I did earn out here. So yeah, I keep it close, man. It's at home, definitely.
That's amazing, man. Well, listen, we're hopefully getting the album in April. April
Yep.
for sure.
April for sure. Not April. Yeah, April for sure.
We already 4 or 5 songs have dropped already.
It's Over, Road Nights, All Shit, and Dedication to Eazy-E. Yeah, about 4 songs. So you might hear about 4 or 5 more, and then they might not even be on the album. So
I mean, you
we
say you
just
got
put-
40 of them
yeah, we just put them out there.
just to get heat up the streets.
Yeah, well, we plan on closing down the recording process the end of this month.
Oh, okay. So you guys are still actively putting finishing touches on the album, still working.
Yeah, you know, we might leave the studio and be like, I mean, we might leave a show and be like, let's go to the studio and just see what we come up with. So, you know, we just letting it let it flow naturally, you know.
Were you in the Breakdown remix session?
Absolutely.
Crazy Bone just fucking left his body when he did that fucking break.
Man. Well, you know, Crazy Bone, man, that's sensei.
He's the sensei for
That's
sure.
granddad right there, man. You know, that's
I think Thug Mentality in 1989 it might be my favorite solo Bone album. That was a great album.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to Cray, man.
That put a lot of sparks in me, you know.
You had Mo Thugs, he had Thug Life.
Mm-hmm. The Life Entertainment.
The Life Entertainment, the TL, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys are legends, bro. You guys are goats. I'm glad we're getting a new Bone album with everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to hear Wishbone's working on a solo album. That's awesome.
Yeah, Wishbone working on a solo album. Look, man, Crazy Bone got this project coming out. I got a project coming out. I got movies, man, that scripts that I've been working on. Crazy Bones, Ghetto Cowboy is a movie / music script. That shit is crazy.
You guys should do a Bone Thugs Netflix special. Like almost like how they did it Straight Outta Compton, but do it as like a Netflix show, like a little 8 episode miniseries, man.
Well, the first hurdle was to come together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So now that that's accomplished, everything under the sun. You know what I mean?
Do you guys, the trademark of your logo, you guys are able to license that out and benefit from that?
Yeah, we own all of our. The only thing we need now is those masters. But trademarks.
That's awesome.
All that shit, like we built for business right now.
I love it, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
we here, man.
I tell you what we need. We need to be able to go to Target and buy a Bone Thugs t-shirt.
You know,
everybody
what I'm
got
saying?
a fucking Target shirt. You got whoever's licensing shit for Target. We need a Bone Thugs tee in that motherfucker.
Holla at us, man.
Well, appreciate you for pulling up, man. Layzie, you're a legend. Obviously, we're super excited for the new album. I know you guys got crazy merch too. Was it last year or the year before? Shoe Palace did a Bone Thugs drop. I copped like 3 pieces. I got a whole goddamn Bone Thugs East 1999 sweatsuit from Shoe Palace.
Shout out to Shoe Palace. That was a nice little deal right there. But LazyGear.com, you can go to thelifeapparel.com. You can go to BoneThugsandHarmony.com, FBG.com. We all
Tour coming.
We all got stores you can go to that we own. It's all, we license our, you know, we do our own merchandise. And man, I guess I could leave you with saying that, you know, Bone Thugs and Harmony, man, we definitely coming 2026. The writings is on the wall, and this really is just to, you know, because this really just to solidify everything that all the work that we did. You know, we marching towards the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yep.
We was to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rightfully so.
Is the goal. And, you know, class of 2026, we get our star on Hollywood.
Oh, that's happening.
Yeah, at the same time
congrats,
Shaq get
man.
hit. Shaq was inducted the same year.
Congrats.
And you know, just doing things to solidify everything. So this might be the last Bone album y'all get.
Well,
Like,
that's what I was gonna ask.
On some real shit, like it's hard work. You know what I mean? And it's very, very, very time consuming. We all got things we want to do. We all got family, children.
Doesn't mean you guys won't do
grandchildren.
shows and stuff.
No, we always gonna do shows, but the recording process, like the effort that we trying to put into this thing, is hard work.
You guys have to do a tiny desk.
We will do a tiny.
You have
desk.
to do a tiny desk.
You could put that on my tiny. That we doing a tiny desk.
We got to do it. You got to do a tiny desk, man.
Before.
And you guys, I do think it'd be crazy if you guys could figure out a live version with instruments, or just a, you know, not necessarily like you said. You're working on getting your masters back. You're getting them back, but I think a dope like unplugged, crazy version of like the classics will go fucking crazy.
Well, I'm a sponge to this game still, man. So I'm listening.
And then you guys could do a vinyl drop, like you. I mean, dude, It's just, I think you, like you said, the hardest part is you got to get 5 dudes together.
That's all it is. And it's 5 geniuses.
And everybody lives in different, everybody got families, everybody got shit going on.
Yeah. So to our fans, understand that, like, you know what I mean? Because they get hot. They take it personal.
Oh, they do. The Bone fans are crazy people.
And we appreciate that. But, you know, you can't rush the perfection of things, and you want the chemistry to be right. Because we not just putting out an album to put out the album. We putting out an album to shut shit down.
When did you guys realize how much Mexicans loved y'all?
Thuggish Ruggish Bone.
My man,
From the beginning.
they love y'all, dog.
They thought me and Bizzy was Mexican.
I could see. Bizzy is so racially ambiguous. You were like, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
There it is, my brother. I appreciate you for pulling up Layzie Bone. New Bone album coming in April, tour, all that. Go support.
Appreciate you, Kev.
Boom.